Listen, write out. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the live top-down analysis from Value Flow Trading Hub. And I would like to know if you can hear me clearly. Kindly let us know that you can hear us clearly as we proceed. All right. So once again, good morning to you all. And as usual, we're going to be looking at a few currency pairs and some benchmark currencies as we're wrapping up this week. And we hope you're having a wonderful week already. So, starting with the dollar index, we've seen dollar index in quite some range in this week. It has been in a range this week. Most times it has given opposite of the directions that we've anticipated. So, would want to see how the dollar index is going to close this week. All right, and for that, we'll be looking at it on the daily time frame and on the hourly time frame to see how we're going to conclude this week, and possibly maybe some trade calls for today. Although we're already expecting some false breakout or a range because of the non-farm payroll we're expecting at 2:30 GMT plus 1 today. Okay, so on the daily time frame, we can see that the dollar index is still within that range. This is the whole range right here. This is the upper boundary and the lower boundary. The dollar index is still within the range and it has not broken out yet. So we're anticipating that it's going to break out of this range with all the fundamentals that was released this week. If all the fundamentals that was released this week do not change this direction or help the dollar index to break out, then we may not be seeing a breakout anytime soon. All right. So we're expecting that the dollar index is going to break this high and continue or trade all the way to this low. If you remember, if you've been following our top-down analysis, we've talked about a volume imbalance that is residing right here. There's a volume imbalance residing right here. Okay, so we've already said that we're expecting the dollar index to trade its way into this level. Okay, expecting the dollar index to trade its way into this level right here. And until it does that, we will be waiting for this sell to complete. So one thing that may happen today is that the sell may push the dollar index all the way into this volume imbalance and then continue to reverse upward, or it may neglect it for the meantime and then trade further above. Now let's look at the 4-hour time frame to get more perspective. Now looking at the 4-hour time frame, you can see the range very clearly. This is the whole range of the dollar index. It's been ranging since the 17th of January. Okay, so since then we've been in this tight range. So we'll be expecting the dollar index to break out of this range. Okay, so this is our expectations on the dollar index. Breakout of this range. If it's coming to the downside, this is where we are targeting. If it's coming to the upside, we want it to break this high and then continue to trade off. Okay, so for the 4-hour time frame, this is the outlook. Now, because Now, I'm suspecting that the non-farm payrolls may be negative for the dollar, seeing how the US economy has been moving. Maybe it may come out negative or lower than expected. Maybe before the end of this golden analysis, we're going to show you the history of the non-farm payroll for the past couple of months, and we'll use it to know where we are expecting the dollar index to trade into. Okay, so we expect the dollar index to trade all the way to this level right here, and then start reversing from here. So knowing that we're expecting the dollar index to trade into this level here, that means we'll be going long on other foreign currencies like Euro USD, GBP USD, AUD, and NZD USD, and we'll be looking to go short on USD JPY, USD CHF, USD CAD, and the likes. Okay, so that is what we're expecting on the dollar index as at today. Okay, a short into this level and then in continuation to the upside. Now let's look at Euro USD and GBP USD before we take a look at gold. Seems the network is lagging. Um, I don't know what's wrong with this network, but kindly hold on. Let me see if I can switch this to get it resolved. All right, so it's back now. So looking at the Euro USD. Now, like we said some days ago, that Euro USD, looking at it from the daily time frame. All right, looking at it from the daily time frame, we said that Euro USD is bullish from the daily time frame. That we may expect some reactions around this area here, and you can see it playing out correctly. Okay, so this is the area where we anticipated the reaction of from. Okay, somewhere around here. Oh, Um, okay. So I said we're expecting some reactions all the way from this level right here. Okay, you can see the other block right there. We said we're expecting a reaction on Euro USD from this level. Now, since price tapped into this level, I became very skeptical about my sell positions. I had to close all my sell positions on Euro USD as at the moment price traded into this level. Okay, so going forward, we would want to wait for another 4-hour break of structure for us to continue going short on Euro USD. Okay, now seeing what dollar index is doing and where it looks like it's going, we may have to see some buys on Euro USD. Okay, remember I said on the dollar index, you're expecting it to trade into some volume imbalances, that is to the downside. So on Euro USD, we may expect to see a reaction of this other block, definitely, because this is a buy swing all the way to the upside. And then this retracement came into this other block right here. So like as expected, we are seeing the reaction of it. So my bias for Euro USD going into today may be some long in the London session And then I'm going to stay off the charts on the New York session and just pay attention to the news. I want to know the impact of the news and how it's going to affect my trades going forward. Okay, so seeing this reaction of this level, I'll be having a buy bias on Euro USD as at today. All right, so I'll be looking to trade it all the way to take out these highs. All right, to grab all these liquidities around these areas. Okay, so that is what I'm looking out for on Euro USD. Until I see a 4-hour break of structure to the downside, I'll remain bullish based on the daily time frame. Okay, it's very important to consider this daily time frame structure because it is the most obvious in terms of short-term trades. So looking at 4 hours also, you can see that 4 hours is about breaking structure to the upside. Once I see a BOS to this upside, like price breaks this high right here, I would be having a clear bullish bias on the Euro USD and I'll be going long on Euro USD for this session. Until next session, I'll just stay out. All right, so I want to see a breakout of this place, a retest, and then I'll be going long on Euro USD. I hope that is clear. And looking at GBP USD, on the daily time frame, like I've said in previous analysis, I've been staying off GBP related pairs, especially GBP USD. I've had buyers on GBP JPY and others, but for GBP USD, I'm not so clear. So generally, I just tilted to Euro USD because there is clear sentiment as at the time on the Euro. All right, there was clear sentiment on the Euro because I was seeing that the Euro was clearly weak as at the time of those analysis. And GBP was not clear in terms of sentiment and direction. So I just stayed off the GBP pairs, even GBP USD. So you can see the range on GBP USD to show that there's clear uncertainty on GBP. I've been staying out all the while, and so now I've not seen any very obvious break of structure. All right, I want to make sure it is obvious. If it's breaking to the upside, I want to take out this high right here. If it's breaking to the downside, I want to see take out this low right here. Okay, from this low all the way to this high. This is the range GBP USD has been trading in. So after this consolidation, we expect a breakout on GBP USD. Once that breakout happens, then I would resume trading GBP USD. But for now, I want to trade the most obvious. I want to trade the weakest against the strongest. And as at the beginning of this week, it was euro against the dollar. Going into today, I would want to reanalyze my outlook on the euro dollar. Okay, so I've told you what I'm looking out for on the euro dollar and on the dollar index. For GBP USD, will be staying out for now. All right, so let me know if you have a bias on any of these currencies that we've analyzed, and feel free to share your bias in the chat box. Right about now, we'll be looking at gold against the dollar and a few yen related pairs.
Yeah, good morning, everyone. All right. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. A great day. And this morning, let's just have a good morning, sir. All right. Right. Now, let's just have a quick look at the gold pair, the gold itself right now. Now, like we said yesterday, that we are still in a bullish move for the gold. We're still very much bullish on gold. And that's what we are seeing currently now, very bullish on gold. That's what we are seeing now. However, if we look at it on the lower time frame, you are going to see the structure and everything that way. Yesterday, we saw it rally so very high, all the way from 2030 something, 2033 to 20, like about 200 pips just in one way. And that's just a normal move for gold. Now, if we look at it very well and we see all this, we are going to see that this is gold move currently now, and that's what we can all see right now. We all see that is very much on a bullish side. So just let's go to the lower time frame and zoom in to see what is actually going on the lower time frame. On 4 hours, we can see what is happening on 4 hours. Gold is, breaking structure to the upside on 4 hours. However, this particular resistance here is what is still giving some level of concern on 4 hours. So if you go to your lower time frame, check 1 hour, analyzing gold on a higher time frame for execution, then that means you want to have a very wild SL. You get the point now. So, but if you go to lower time frame, higher time frame informs you what is going on the lower time frame and the direction you should be trading. Get it now. So on the lower time frame on 1 hour, after the full momentum to the upside yesterday, we see it is just ranging like this, which some would call a bullish flag. However, we've not seen a clear break of structure to the downside at all. Everything is still very much bullish. Now, if we want to join the bullish move, how do we look at that? We can see this. This is more like a clear of liquidity as we've seen it, and we expect price to come. If we truly want to join the bullish move, we expect price to come all the way to this low here, somewhere around 2040, 2030. You see it now, somewhere around this level. Yes, this zone is where we expect price to come if we want to join the bullish move. But the way it is now, it has not really given any clear structure, and this is 1 hour time frame. But if you come to your lower time frame, there will be some kind of structure there. This is 15-minute time frame. It's still very much bullish on 15 minutes too, and you can see what is it really forming a bullish flag there. So we should just watch and see what is going to happen, and also have it in mind that today is NFP, so that should also give you some level of concern in the market. And if we want to see our own trading signature, like we do use that way, we'll have seen a clear move yesterday. Yes, this is it. This is it. The sweep to the upside, a forceful break, and price came back all the way into the zone, which is the fair value gap, even though it doesn't really enter this particular shoulder. But you can see this is a confluence where when price comes to the fair value gap and also more a flip zone here, that's a place to short. And if you just short that, you'd have seen close to about 60 pips or so to the downside. You get the point now. So that is how you trade gold when you are in your lower time frame. You get, can you hear me now? Can you hear me, please? Jerome, can you hear me? Please, if you can hear me, just type in the chat box. You can hear me loud and clear, please. All right. All right. Jerome, please. Probably is the network. All right. So that is for gold. Now let's check the JPY pair, the yen basket. All right. So let's look at the yen baskets now. The yen basket on the higher time frame, like we said yesterday, we are expecting it to react from this particular level, and we see that that's what price did. Price came to tap into this order block and this fair value gap. Yesterday our projection for the week is a bullish move, which we see yesterday all till yesterday, and we said yesterday the JPY, the yen basket, is expected to have some level of pullback yesterday. And that's what we are seeing happening now. And we all see that now. You can see price since yesterday is already coming back to the downside. And what are we expecting? We said if yesterday candle closes bullish, can we all see that if yesterday candle closes bullish, then we expect today's candle to pull back and tap into leaving this place as a fair value gap and tap into this fair value gap. And that is what we are seeing here. Can you see? That's what we are seeing here. I think this is another trading view. All right. So the one we marked yesterday, That's what we are seeing here. We see price coming to tap into that level. You get it now. So that is what we are looking for. So if price tapped proper into this level, into this zone here that we are seeing, and making this more of an order block, then we expect it to continue its rally and break all the way to the upside. You get the point now. It should break all the way to the upside. Now, if you look at it, that's on daily time frame. But if you look at yen basket on the 4-hour time frame, you can see on 4-hour, we see some level of break here of this particular low, but it's still more, we still expect price to tap into this 4-hour fair value gap. And that is why we are still expecting that move from the daily time frame a bit to the downside more. So we can see price just tap into this fair value gap here. Can you see it? And that is correlating more of a flip zone. That is this particular resistance here. Let me mark it out for us to see. You can see this resistance here. Can you see it now? So price should is expected to tap into this zone here. When price taps into this zone here, then can easily follow it up. And remember, if yen basket is tanking to the downside, then yen correlated pairs are expected to buy to the upside. Does that make sense now? But the moment yen basket gets into this zone that we've marked, then other yen correlated pairs should start reversing to the downside. Does that make sense now? Now, if you check that same zone on 1 hour, you are going to see it's a very clean one. So price still have high tendency to clear this liquidity here clean and then tap into this fair value gap, which is also a flip zone. And you see it now, it's also a flip zone. So that is what we are looking out for. Now let's take a quick look at GJ. Now, this is GJ on 1 hour. Oh, this is giving a very clean structure now. GJ on 1 hour, we can see what is happening here. This is fair value gap. Now, we marked this yesterday. If you remember, this is a zone that boss talked about yesterday. This is the fair value gap here. And at the same time, we have the shoulder here. This is the shoulder. This is the sweep. Maybe I should use this to illustrate that for us. You can see this is the shoulder. Can you see it now? The shoulder correlating with a fair value gap there. Can you see inside the fair value gap? This is the fair value gap here. So there's still high tendency price rally all the way into this place. Remember, we are expecting JPY basket, the yen basket should to tank to the downside. So when it tanks to the downside, then we can easily follow it up. Does that make sense now? So as yen basket is tanking to the downside, this guy is expected to rally. And when it comes all the way to enter this zone, then we can easily short to the downside. Does that make sense now? So that is what we are looking out for. That is GJ on the higher time frame, on 1 hour time frame. So if you go to your lower time frame, just maybe you want to go and find refine your entry. Clean. You can even see this on 15 minutes too. Is giving us the same thing there. You can see it now. This is the shoulder and we have the fair value gap inside here. So we expect price to enter into this zone. So if you are looking to short GJ, just be patient enough and let price get to this zone. And when price get to this zone, where will your SL be? This is 187 spot 400 level, and your SL will be at 187 spot SA 700 level or 650 level. So that is about 20 pips or so. So just use your proper risk management strategy and make sure you trade cautiously. So that is for that on the yen basket and also on JPY. Does that make sense now? Any question, please? Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Good morning, guys at the floor. Good morning, everyone. So it's a pretty quiet day today. It's quite quiet. With regard to the dollar, yesterday I said that there's no clear sentiment on the dollar yet, but gradually it's starting to look okay. Lekman, I think you have questions. You have questions for your session before I talk. Sarah says, review Euro USD again. If you come late and a review has been done, if you're someone that participates a lot, maybe we can do it again. If you're not someone that participates or asks questions or comments a lot and you come late, it has gone. You can't go back. All right? Then Okioma say your fair value gap identification is not clear to me. So if you come late, please just say there that I came late. Can you please review? So we'll know whether it's a thing of understanding or it's a thing of you were not there at all. All right? Thank you. I'm not saying you came late. I'm just saying if you came late. All right? Okay, so your fair value gap identification is not clear to me.
All right, I can quickly run through that. But can you all see my screen now?
Yes, we can. I can.
All right. Thank you. Now this is it here. You can see this is the fair value gap here. Let me mark it. Can you see it here? So this is it. This is the fair value gap inside this zone. That's where price is tapping into currently. However, we can still see that this is the shoulder up here. Can you see the shoulder up here, somewhere here? So this is the shoulder up here, and we can see the sweep. You can see it here. And when the sweep happens, there is a forceful break on 1 hour time frame, which is this, it breaks forcefully. So we expect price to rally into this zone. Remember, on the 4 hour, on the yen basket, we are still expecting yen basket to tap into that daily fair value gap and even an order block too, which is also correlating to 4 hour time frame on yen basket. So if yen basket is tanking, we expect this guy to buy. You get the point now, to rally to the upside. Now, just a confirmation of this is on the 15-minute time frame. So when you refine it, you don't want to enter the market right from 1 hour time frame like this. Now, if you enter right from this place, your SL will be somewhere at the top here, and that will be around almost over about 50 pips or so. You get the point now. But if you refine it more, which is coming to your lower time frame, if you look at it on the 15-minute time frame, you can see on the 15-minute time frame, this is it on 15 minutes. So the zone is still very much clear into this level here. You can still see price rally all the way into this level. So this is the level, this is the shoulder. Can you see the shoulder now? This is the shoulder. So we expect price to come and tap into that fair value gap, also in line with the shoulder. Then we can follow it to the downside. Does that make sense now? All right. Thank you so much. You're welcome, sir. All right. Take on, sir.
All right. So I can continue?
Yes, sir.
All right. Okay. So let me just say something about fair value gaps, right? Just look at it this way. There is a momentum move. Price moves so fast that it breaks structure. It breaks structure. So once you just see the inefficiency, now some people prefer to look at the order block that triggered the momentum move. Other people prefer to look at the closest week within the fair value gap. So it depends on your back testing. Just understand the logic behind it. And of course, if you have someone that tells you exactly how they use their own, just use it the way they use it, especially if you have access to be asking those people questions like you do here on the TDA. So please, so my question is, when the GBP JPY gets to that point of interest for sell, should I still be looking for the same same and head pattern to ascertain a sell in lower time frame? Yes, we use the same schematic, Chibuzo. Whatever schematic we look at, we use that schematic. We have decided to focus on a particular schematic, or when I say schematic, I mean entry pattern or entry signature. We have decided to focus on the box schematic in the first quarter of this year. That's like January, February, March, and into April. So you can really understand that schematic and train your eye to see it on whatever time frame. So whatever schematic you are using, because price is fractal, what it does on a higher time frame, it does it also on a lower time frame. Just focus on that schematic. Whatever pattern you are using, just focus on it until you understand it and you understand its win rate. Don't be jumping from one schematic to the other. I hope this has answered your question, Chibuzo. So yes, when you see the schematic on a higher time frame, you want to see that same schematic on a lower time frame. Then Moyo Sorry says, please, sir, what happened with GBP USD yesterday? It pulled back from a low of 1.26200 to 1.2750. Okay, so yesterday was Bank of England monetary policy announcements where they will announce their interest rate. And they announced that they would maintain interest rates at 5.25%, if I'm not mistaken, meaning they will leave it unchanged, right? There was a vote for a rate hike, but only one person out of the entire team wanted that rate hike. So understand this, whenever there is a fundamental release, especially one as serious as monetary policy, in the ranking, the hierarchy of fundamentals, monetary policy is way up there, as in way up there. Anything interest rates, anything inflation as it affects interest rates is like number one, interest rates. That's what moves this market. The rate of interest you get when you keep your currency in a particular, keep your money in a particular currency. What's the interest the central bank will pay you for keeping your money with them or in their economy? All right. Second one is employment or unemployment or wages, anything that has to do with wages, employment. Third one is inflation with regard to, interest rate first, then inflation, then employment. Things like purchasing, PMI, purchasing managers index, CPI, consumer, what is the P now? Consumer something. I don't know what it is again. I forgot it. Anyway, CPI and PMI as it affects inflation. Consumer price index. Thank you. Thank you. All right. So because news came out, right, and it was unchanged, that means there is no fundamental impact because nothing has changed. So liquidity providers, the big boys, smart money, use that to push price down and take it back up. Let's see GBP USD on a higher time frame. Understand this. Data came out that was unchanged, meaning nothing has changed. So they just use that news to push price down and take it back up. So if the fundamentals are unchanged, what do you think will happen with the price action? The price action too will be largely unchanged. That's why it went all the way down and then went back to where it pretty much was before the data came out. Does this make sense? The person that asked me that question, does it make sense? Before the data came out, price was on 1.27500. Now data came out and it was unchanged. Price came down and went back up. They just used the opportunity to grab liquidity. All that happens in this market is create liquidity, consume liquidity. Create liquidity, consume liquidity. Use fundamentals as the trigger to grab the liquidity that you have created. All right? Now, Jerome says, will you trade Euro USD? That's an open-ended question, sir. Will you trade it when? Are you saying, will you trade it today? Are you saying, do you normally trade it? So your questions have to be as specific as possible with regard to your own trading plan. Will you trade Euro USD? Because I am looking to trade Euro USD intraday today. But you just say, will you trade Euro USD? If I say yes, what next? If I say no, what next? So every question you ask yourself, when I get the answer to this question, how does it affect or impact my trading or my trading knowledge? So Jerome, rephrase your question and I will answer again. Experiential knowledge on how to combine trading. Kindly remember to give us your explanation on how to combine work and trading. Okay. Combining work and trading, right? Focus on higher time frames. One, focus on higher time frames. It's hard, but focus on higher time frames. Number two, focus on one pair. One pair. So you get to understand that pair. Higher time frames like daily, weekly, 4 hour. Focus on one pair. I suggest you focus on a pair and pair that currency with either USD or JPY. What do I mean by that? You're either trading the pound versus the USD. GBP USD is your bread and butter. But you can look at GBP JPY and GBP CHF from time to time if GBP USD is not giving you clear signals. That's one. Number two, focus on higher time frames. Number three, focus on high impact news triggers. What do I mean by that? If I'm working, I'll pay attention to the week after non-farm payroll. So throughout this week, I will not be trading. I just want to see non-farm payroll come out first Friday. Then that second week after first Friday, I'll be on my charts. I'll be looking out for my charts. Why? Because price can range. It is news that triggers price volatility. So just go to your Forex Factory calendar for that pair, GBP USD. You can look at it for that week. On a Saturday weekend, check all the news coming out that week. Pay attention to any news that has to do with inflation. Pay attention to any news that has to do with interest rate. Pay attention to any news that has to do with employment, basically NFP. All right? Once you have that, only come to your chart like an hour after the news has been released to see what effect the news had on structure. When you see the effect, then you know where to start your analysis. So that way you can look and say, I'm not going to be trading until Friday, the 2nd of February. So I will start trading on Monday, the 5th of February. So you can price that into your work. You can factor that into your work. That shouldn't be a problem. All right. I hope this is explanatory enough. Okay. So how do you focus and combine work and trading? Number one, stick to one or two pairs. Number two, stick to the higher time frames. Number three, look out for the fundamental news that triggers or injects volume into the currency pair, and trade after the news has come out, the session or the day after that news comes out, and then look out for the same schematic, Like right now, what am I seeing on GBP USD on the 4 hour? I'm seeing a shoulder. Where's my shoulder? My shoulder was formed between 22nd and 24th. That's my shoulder exactly. I'm seeing a sweep of liquidity. Where's my sweep of liquidity? My sweep of liquidity was formed from 24th and came all the way down. Did the sweep of liquidity, when it came back into the range, did it break the liquidity sweep origin? Yes, it broke it. Not very clearly, but it broke it. So after breaking it, what am I looking at? Is there a fair value gap? Price is going, is there a gap there? Okay, there's an untouched, untapped order block, right? And there will be a fair value gap inside there. So where is price right now? Price is inside the fair value gap. Okay, is there liquidity to be grabbed? Is there liquidity to be grabbed? Yes, there's liquidity to grab. Okay, so we're around there. So based on this, what can price likely do? Price may tap into that range and start coming down. If price is going to come down, where will I mark? I'm answering the guy that is talking about higher time frames. Where will I mark? I will mark that diagonal liquidity in the last 4-5 candles of the 4-hour chart. There's a trend line there. Exactly. There's diagonal liquidity all the way there. If that diagonal liquidity gets broken, if that diagonal liquidity gets consumed, that trend line gets broken, there's a fair value gap all the way down to 1.2660. So if it gets broken, I'm ready to sell. Do you see how we are looking at this over days? If it gets broken, I'm ready to sell. Where am I selling into? I'm selling into 1.2650 levels, thinking that if that's a proper schematic, price is going to target 1.2600 and form a lower low. Does this make sense? This is how I look at it if I don't have time. This is exactly how I look at it. Now, if it's for a buy, where am I going to buy? Okay, let's see. If it's for a buy, price must break that high of the 24th. If price breaks the high of the 24th, right, then I know price has plans to come back down. If price is coming back down, where is it coming to? Where is the shoulder? Where is the sweep? That means there's a shoulder on the, exactly, that's the shoulder, that's the sweep. And if there's a sweep, where is the fair value gap that was formed by the sweep? That's the fair value gap there. So where is price going to buy from? Price is going to buy around 1.2660 levels, or is going to buy at that flip zone, the Twin Tower flip zone on the 23rd or so. The Twin Tower flip zone on the 31st, exactly. So between there and that, if price breaks 1.2780, 1.28 to the upside, it's going to come back, pull into this region, and then buy. That's how I would trade it. I don't know if this makes sense for someone who is working. It's the same schematic, the same currency pair, a buy and a sell scenario. I will now go and check my news. Which of these news can trigger this? All right. Now, having said that, what other question? Good morning, sir. When is the right time to quit full-time work for trading? My brother, I'm not going to ask you to try it, especially if you're a family man. If you are in your 20s and you are not responsible for anybody, you can try it. If you're a family man or you're a married man and you have dependents, don't quit full-time work for trading. Don't. What you can do, depending on how it's doing you, is keep trading, right? Calculate your annual salary. So if I earn, for example, 200,000 naira per month, 200,000 per month times 12 is how much? 2.4 million. 2.4 million. I don't have anything to say about COT. 2.4 million is how much I'm going to earn from my salary in a year, right? What I will do, that means I currently survive on 2.4 million per year until I can make 2.4 million profit clean from Forex. I'm not leaving my job. So what will I do? I'll say, okay, how can I make 2.4 million? What's 2.4 million in dollars? 2.4 million in dollars is roughly, let's just say $2,000, right? $2,000. That means I must make $2,000 pure profit. It must be there, sitting, untouched. 1 year salary. 1 year salary. Why? 1 year is enough for you if you make the mistake of resigning to find another job. 1 year is enough for you to find another job, right? So how would I do it? I can look for prop accounts. If I look for prop accounts, I can partner with someone that has funds. Let us buy a prop account of maybe 200,000 or 400,000. If we can get a prop account of 400,000, we can make 2 or 3%. If they pay us, because nowadays to trade is human, to withdraw is divine. If they pay us and we can get our $4,000, I give the person $2,000, I give the other person Ipokia, you are just joining. You are just joining. Ipokia region, you are just, this is your question. You are just joining this TDA today for the first time. We will answer you after 5 days of joining and asking questions. My brother, you are just joining. Even the people, it's not us that will answer you, it's the people that have been doing the TDA that can politely answer you. all right? But your blood is hot. There's no best and winning strategy. So back, when you have done that 4,000 and you split it with the person that paid for the account, he keeps 2,000, you keep 2,000. Ask yourself, do I still want to resign? Or do I want to be taking $150 every month out of that $2,000 and add it to my salary? So that if you have an extra $150 added to your salary, you can calm down. Even the way you work will be different. Even the way you work will be different. You'll be working small. If your guy shouts at you too much, even your attitude, your self-esteem, you'll be like, okay, calm down. I don't want to pay my bills. But if you resign, I did this thing. I resigned. My brother, for like 9 months to 1 year, I did not get myself. I was just tapping into my savings. When my savings reached a particular level, I had to pray and say, God, if you will not pity me, pity my wife and my unborn child. And I rushed back to get a job. So what you can do is, you can now say, okay, I'm going to get a job in the brokerage industry or in the Forex industry. I'm going to become a trainer. I'm going to become a marketer, or I'm going to become an influencer working for a broker and collecting a salary. I'm going to work in DeFi, Web3, so that you are now still employed, but you are doing your trading. Kind of like our guys at the team, the VFT team. That's what they are doing, right? So they trade, but let me tell you, when market is ranging or when you have losing streak, no matter how small your salary is, you'll be very happy to see it, because salary cannot have drawdown. All right? I'm not one of those people that will say, leave your job. Number one, if you leave your job, you'll be at home 24/7. The psychological impact, your neighbors that have been seeing you going to work, they say, okay, hope not, how do you want to start telling them that you are trading? All right? Because I almost got kicked into for, don't trade for, see, until you can make 3 times your annual salary from Forex, don't leave. Do you know how many times you say, I've gotten it, I've figured it out, I've held this market by the hand, or even by the, anyways, they know how we say it in the floor. Let's just leave it. I've held this market by the hand. Then the market will now come and remove the hand. You now realize you didn't hold the market by anything. How many times in the floor have we looked and said, yes, we've made it. We went to go and price all the cars around. A week later, we realized we did not make anything, the journey continues. Don't let 1 or 2 withdrawals deceive you. So COT report, there are no thoughts on COT. See, my brother, the secret to trading is find somebody who is using an approach that works, that is consistent, not a total marketer. When you find someone who is using an approach that works, learn the approach from them. So we don't use COT reports in our trading. I have researched it. It can be used. There are people who use it. I can send you links, but I don't know enough about it to say that's how I pull money consistently out of this market. All right? So that's basically it. But yes, COT report works. There's a guy in Dubai who was willing, he said we should pay him $30,000, $29,000, so he would teach us how he uses COT report. We wanted to, but after a while we said there's no point. He was making like 3 to 4% a month with his COT report. Why would I pay you $30,000 to teach me to make what I can already make on my own? All right, so that's it. Yeah, I think that's basically it. I think I've answered the question of the person that wants to resign. If you think work is stressful, trading is way more stressful. Way more stressful. Way more stressful. All right? Okay. So I wanted to say some things, but time has gone. So I think we'll save it for next week. But do you see what price is doing right now? Because it has tapped into that order block, and that order block will fight it for a bit. It will fight for a bit. Sarah says, please say it, sir. It's just general talk, housekeeping. Give yourself, if you want to resign from Forex Bar, give yourself a date. So today is February 2024. You can say to yourself that by June 2025, I'll resign from trading. I'll resign from work to focus on trading. You can give yourself 2 years. Typically, if you have not been making consistent profits now, you need a minimum of 2 years before you can say you want to resign. Typically, you need a minimum of 2 years. I'll tell you the truth. The market changes from time to time. Changes. All right? Okay. So we'll talk. Maybe we'll do another live like we did that time, Lekon, on non-trading issues, the psychological issues. So let me hand it over back to the guys on the floor. The person that asked for COT report, we'll look around. But see, my brother, what we are teaching you here is easier than COT report. Shoulder, sweep, break of structure, retrace back to fair value gap, look for the same schematic on a lower time frame. COT report. Commercials, speculators, hedgers. My brother, it's not as easy as you think. Over to you, Lekon. Regards to the guys on the floor. Cheers. God bless.
Thank you so much, sir. Right, everyone, like we said yesterday, for those who are in Abuja and who are willing to come, we're coming to Abuja the month of very soon. So make sure you mark the date very soon. In the month of March, we'll be in Abuja. Because be expectant, and it's going to be a very nice time of enlightenment. And at the same time, we have all our courses there. Now, a lot of people have been reaching out to us who want to trade. I don't have a laptop. I don't have money. All I have is my phone. All those, big excuses. Now we are giving our ATM Plus Android. It's going to be a live training. Here at the floor, we are going to have a live training ATM Plus Android, and it's just going for 30,000 naira. 30,000 naira. You don't need a laptop for this. All you need is your Android phone, and we are going to teach you a profitable system where you can trade synthetic profitably. Does that make sense now? So what we are expecting you to register for that. If that is going to be of help to you more, we are expecting you. Yes, we are going to communicate the venue. Don't worry, we are going to communicate the venue. So when we are going to communicate the venue here at the TDA, we are going to know the venue for the meeting. Also, we have our Sunshine Scalping for 60,000 naira, our ATM Cash Flow for 100,000 naira, and also our FS Bootcamp. You see, everything you've been learning here in the TDA session, all you need is just to register for FS Bootcamp. You are going to get everything full. As a matter of fact, deep insight into everything we are talking about here. You are going to have everything, and after FS Bootcamp, you are going to pick a particular pair that you want to specialize on, and we are going to teach you how you can major on it, and it's going to give you much that you think you can. Not you trading Euro USD today, trade AUD CAD tomorrow, trade CHF and JPY tomorrow, all manner of pairs that you don't understand. So when you enroll for FS Bootcamp, we are going to teach you the best that you want, and you can always cash out with it. And our value flow models too are also there. And yes, the training is online and on-site. So peradventure you can't travel down to Zaria, you can always join online too. Then we are going to have the best experience as though you are here in the floor. All right, and our bots are there doing well. Yesterday we still have someone still bought the FS Bootcamp is just 125,000 naira, and you can reach out to us on our WhatsApp handle and also any of our social media handle for more information. We'll follow you up on that, right? And our bots, they are doing well. Reach out to us if you want to get one of it. It makes money for you, slow and steady. Peace of mind, no problem, right? Thank you so much. This will be the end of TDA for this week. We look forward to having you on board next week. Make sure you trade cautiously and share this link. Share this link. Invite more people. Invite more people. You see, we've seen testimonies up and down, I passed my problem, I did this from just today. So don't just eat it alone. Try and bring more people to also partake of this. That making sense. Thank you. See you next week. Monday, 8:30 is the time. Cheers and God bless.